Check, check. We are live. Don't know if the audio's working yet, but we'll figure it out soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, I believe. Got an appointment this morning with the ophthalmologist at 10:20, so we won't be on too terribly long, but we'll be here for a while. Doesn't look like anybody else is live, so I figured I'd try to fill in the gap a little bit for those that kind of have the same hours I do. And a lot of us do the third shift thing. You know what I mean? So bear with me a second while I get everything going here. We'll grab the StreamYard link, copy it, and paste it over there in the YouTube side of things. Post surgery live. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We already have one person in the house, whomever you might be. Thanks for. But here we go. Okay, now we're going to go to live chat. Oh, fuck. There's a bug in the house. I hate it when that happens. Live chat. Pat Piper, good morning. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Paste. There's our link. Yes, yes. Now let's pin the message. And message pinned. It's working. Back to StreamYard. I think we're good to go. Hot diggity. Yes, Pat. It looks like when I close my right eye, which is now the worst eye, I can read the chat. Like I haven't been able to in over 6 months. Not easily. So you won't see me like leaning in to read anymore. You know what I mean? It is pretty amazing. I'm pretty thrilled. Just need to do the old recovery thing. Hey, Mary Jane, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Looks like I better smoke some Mary Jane. That Pfeiffer in the shelter again with those damn Pat. I saw that twister in Nebraska, I think it was. Maybe it wasn't Nebraska. Maybe it was Kansas. Something. It was huge. And it's funny that my baseball team, college, is out in Omaha playing in the College World Series. And yes, we did win yesterday. So we live to play another day. Let's see what we got here. Ah, there we go. Appreciate that, Pat. And ooh, get out of that shelter when it's safe, of course. Nothing fun. It's awfully nice to see you being the first one here. How about that? How about that? Thank you, sir, or ma'am, whichever you are. I'm guessing a dude because I've seen some of the things you say, and you're a salty fella. But we love you, bro, or girlfriend, whichever the case is. There we go. We're already off to a rousing start. There are 10 people in the house. They came to see what kind of surgery. Surgery. Yeah, never mind. I won't down there. No, I'm kidding. Up here, up here. Yikes. Yikes. So we'll chit chat a little bit and then maybe move into a little bit of music later on. All kinds of stuff been happening over the weekend. Um, I went to a couple of streams that I couldn't find the link to their panels and really wanted to chit chat, but yeah, I just wasn't part of the in crowd, I guess. So that's why I went live last Saturday night. I was like, fuck, man, I want to talk. I got stuff to talk about. They had a hell of a time out there on No King's Day, and we'll talk about that in a few. Not to belabor the point or anything, but I saw some interesting happenings along the way. Hey, Remy, good morning, sir. Good to see you. No pun intended. But yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my, yeah. Let's catch our breath a little bit. Maybe we'll have a little cigarette to calm down. People have been talking about Israel and Iran. I like to really focus. I mean, although that's very interesting, I'm going to mostly focus on what I've seen around across America this weekend. Of course, we had protests, not necessarily riots, they claim, But really got to talk about the thing in Utah where what do they call them? The peacekeepers for the No Kings protest, the organizers, they had peacekeepers out there, and somebody appeared with an AR-15 in the crowd at Salt Lake City. We'll just jump right into it. And if you've heard about it, you have. If not, I'll tell you about it, and maybe we'll look at a few clips. Um, Somebody pulled an AR-15 and pointed it, I think, and started running at groups of people. And when one of the peacekeepers saw that, they are paid, I think, helpers for the protesters, if you will, the No Kings protesters. One of the peacekeepers, uh, uh, I guess, in a way, he was a hero. He shot the guy that had the rifle, but sadly, he shot a bystander dead. Someone who had been on Project Runway, a reality show that some of you may have heard of if you follow reality shows. So he's a hero and a goat in my eyes. Can you be both? Will he be prosecuted? They're trying to charge the guy with the rifle who never pulled the trigger. They're trying. They're talking about charging him with murder. He never pulled the trigger. Yet the peacekeeper, well, he misfired, I guess. And it makes me wonder about these peacekeepers. My understanding is they're not supposed to carry weapons if they're representing the 50-51 thing. So, we can talk about that. We'll look at it and stuff like that. Let's take nothing down there. Sorry, bro. And genocide is in the house. Good morning. But that was a kind of a sickening example. I hate to see anyone die. But maybe, like he should have followed the peacekeepers, maybe should have followed the rules. But then maybe we'd have 12 or 20 people shot. But do we know if the rifle was loaded? And it probably was. The person that he was injured, he got one of three shots hit the intended target. The other two did not. Like I said, one of them killed a man with a wife and two children. He was Samoan and somewhat popular, I suppose, on that show. AC, good morning. Oh, fun surgery. Yeah, it took me a while to come down from those drugs. I was kind of hopped up a little bit. They even injected something in my veins, and they gave me a Valium beforehand. So I was getting a little. I was like, needles? You're gonna put a needle in me? They're like, do you want a Valium? I'm like, oh hell yeah, a Valium, baby. Xanax, I don't know. Just kidding, sort of. But anyway, cataract surgery. Yes, yes. Just let me see what's going on here. Do you put it? Well, I don't know about being hours away from something. Hopefully, we set them back a little bit, or they set them back. Anybody. I approve of stopping something that's not necessary by any means necessary. Maybe. Um, yeah, we won't get into that. I mean, yeah, I used to condone a lot of things that the CIA did. So, right or wrong, I had at a time that kind of viewpoint where you have to do whatever is necessary to protect the greater, good, if you will, the best interest of the world, so to speak. So, but we won't get into that yet. I want to we'll try to stick with what's going on in America first. Like especially Salt Lake City, Jesus. So, yeah. Oh, I know. Look, genocide. I mean, ever since World War II, we've been killing in the name of oh yeah, Rage Against the Machine. I'll probably have to play that song, "Killing in the Name of." God bless y'all. Thank you for being here. We're up to 18 people. No panelists yet. I'm watching for you. Trying to watch it. You know what I mean? So let's get a cigarette going. Kind of calm down. I'm always nervous because I'm not as great at an extemporaneous speaker as perhaps I used to be in younger days. So we just do the best we can. And oh shit, I got two cigarettes out, so you can see I'm a little, nervous today. It could be the drugs wearing off, or whatever. I'm just so thrilled to be able to maybe be able to see again a little bit, a lot. Okay, let's see what's going on. Get the brain working here. What am I doing? We'll be pulling up some videos if I can get the wherewithal to find them. And I also want to talk about things like what I saw with the Mosh Man. Yes, we do talk about him still occasionally. And this time it's going to be kind of nice. Mosh Man ran into and posted a video about running into, he fist bumped Adam Francisco, the gentleman that the MCF jumped down the throat of at his protest, No Kings, on Saturday. So apparently, within an hour of each other, Adam met both Mosh and MCF, and neither by choice, both by accident, if you will. Adam and Mosh were crossing the street. Adam saw his Pacers jersey and said, "I like your jersey," and Mosh was just kind of fist bumping. We'll show that, and hopefully Mosh doesn't strike me for actually doing something positive for him and Adam. I mean, I side more with those guys than the way MCF acted with "fuck Trump" right in Adam's ear, and then started saying, whatever he said. They had a small exchange of words, and then he said, called him an illegal immigrant. Adam's been here in America for 41 years. He was adopted by a couple in this country, and he's only about 41 or 42. So as a baby, he was adopted and became an American citizen, I guess that way. I don't know the whole story, but Adam also lives down in Florida. He's the guy that wears the red MAGA hat to functions that are being held by the other side, if you will. And some people would be correct when they call people like that instigators because he's going to get confronted. And that's what he wants to see is the reactions that people have. Um, and nothing, he didn't wear anything MAGA, but he wanted to film some of it. And I give him credit for that. And that's why I'm talking, even bringing it up. As much as I disagree with a lot of things that he's done ever since I've known him for, over 3.5 years. He got this one right, though. He went neutral colors. Of course, Adam was there in his red hat, I'm sure. You couldn't see Adam. I think Adam, I looked on Adam's live and the timestamp and saw where that Mosh had just happened to be crossing the street. But Mosh did, he went around and didn't really instigate. He asked a few questions, but not as pointedly. These questions were, they're not as pointed as what people like what's the other girl named Kate Lynn. We'll talk about her as well. I saw where she was removed or asked to leave or not allowed in to a pride event. And once again, I see these. I'm going to say that the fellow was a black guy, and he's oh Jesus, King Laffy is here, and I suppose somebody got him. God damn it, we've already got that crap. Nope, ban, hide user on channel. There's always some idiot in the crowd. Trying to mess my flow up. So let's get back to StreamYard. Anybody with wrenches out there, if you see somebody doing the N word, the end result for that. That's totally hidden. There's no forgiving that shit. Idiots. I believe in free speech to a point. That's too far. Let's get back to the black fella. He looked like he was gay. He was part of a pride event, and they wouldn't let the girl in because they know who she is, and they didn't want her to be at their public event being held at a local park. But they had a permit for the park. Does that make it a private area? You mean I can't take my family for a picnic there in the same area? There's a lake behind the park and everything. It's supposed to be if it's open to the public. Uh, can they ban people from the event just because they speak of the different side of things? Um, what if we had a straight event and didn't allow homosexuals there? Would we be wrong? The worst thing about this guy was he said that she was instigating people. She hadn't done nothing. He said she threatened people and other things. He made comments to the police that were flat out lies, and it's on camera. You know, I mean, I challenge him, that individual, to prove what he said. Otherwise, I think he should be arrested. You know, for discriminating against her. And we'll take a look at some of those things here in just a few minutes. Let me get to keep rolling with it. 20 people in the house. Thank you all for being here. Let's light the cigarette. And there were no threats, Pat. This girl, Caitlin, and she was asked to leave a farmer's market in Lakeland. And that's what kind of got me stirred up, and you know, for her and on her behalf. I've discussed this at length with a friend of mine, a very close and dear friend of mine. We looked at the videos together and we saw what happened and stuff like that. And it's they had a permit for a farmer's market in downtown Lakeland, and because she was walking around with pro-Trump signs, maybe, and trying to interview people, they tried to have her trespassed, and the cops even said if she didn't leave, they would arrest her. And now I've seen since then, I did some digging. The police department denies that they threatened to arrest her and denies that she was going to be trespassed. They did ask her to get out of the street and onto the sidewalk because she was, quote unquote, getting in the way of the shoppers and stuff like that. And so we'll discuss all that here in a little bit. That may be where I'll start with what happened to her. Again, my friend said that they consider her an instigator, and that's, to a degree, might be a proper word, but it's very thought provoking. That's my whole point. You know, we talk about freedom of speech and things like that, and it's not always as cut and dry as we think it could be. But I'm appalled by the behavior of some of these people in positions of power, so to speak. You know, I got a permit for this park, and I can say who can come in and come out. They had a bunch of CSC security, kind of like a group that does concert security. I used to do that kind of security a little bit. So I've seen a thing or two, got an idea of what it's all about. But it seemed very discriminatory to me. You know, you can pick and choose. You know, the cops were there as well, and she was the only person that might have been an adversary of the situation at hand. We'll take a look at some video, and I will risk strikes and all that stuff because I'm trying to shout these people out. And y'all, some of you might not like my opinions on this, and I apologize if I offend anyone. I just want to look at what's going on in the world, and we as a group should determine what's fair and what's not, perhaps even what's legal and what's not. You know, since I had surgery, we're not drinking yet. I haven't gotten any bourbon yet. Chill Pill, my number one supporter, as far as bourbon goes and stuff like that, a great individual, has sponsored my next purchase, which we will get out there and do. I can't drive until after 10 in the morning or so, and I have a 10:20 appointment, so it's cutting it close. And okay, let's make sure we didn't miss anybody. Niners for Life is in the house. We did miss you there, bro. See, thank you for being here. King Laffy, hope I never see you again, or any of the alternate names you may choose. F you, bro, or bro at Gutters. Good, Gutters. Great to see you. Great to see you. Have some interesting topics about. Like I say, I'm going to try to keep local on this, United States wise. Utah and the Salt Lake City shooting, Lakeland, Florida, with Caitlin, and of course Adam Francisco, and the fact that Adam met both Mosh and MCF on Saturday. Two completely different situations, but kind of interesting and very coincidental. Wow. Suck Moss. Oh, here we go. Little gremlin. No, 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 no. I've been apparently I developed cataracts and I've not been able to read the chat very easily for about a half a year. I had the surgery yesterday, so it is what it is. I've been quite anxious to speak with people this evening. That's why once again, to start my own show. just to kind of, talk to people, if you will. Very anxious after the, coming off the drugs that they gave me. But yes, yes. So bear with me. Teddy Matrix is in the house. Gutters, thank you again for being here. If you want to come up and chit chat for a few minutes, you're more than welcome to, of course. Well, we love you and respect you. Thank you for being here. Your support is greatly appreciated. And so let's go with where we're going to go to. Let's go to the farm. Should we do the farmers market first? Anybody? Anybody? See if we can find that farmers market thing. Doing pretty good, Teddy Matrix. Doing pretty good. Bear with me while we look for Caitlin. That's going to be tough. Now, I just recently subscribed to her and Adam Francisco. I've seen their stuff before, but just really took a shot. I just don't like people and their rights being downtrodden. I think it's rude what they did to her. What is that? Liberty something. Let's get to Caitlin. We'll start it off with there we go. Liberty Hangout, and I will try to find here. I'm going to try to shout all these people out. And if anybody with mods here, if you've got one, you're welcome to pop links for yourselves or for other people. We appreciate that. Let's copy and paste. This is Liberty. This is Caitlin. Liberty Hangout. Bam. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I was frustrated because I saw Traveling Fools on the other night, Saturday night, and I couldn't see a link. And I'm just kind of like, I'm too shy to ask, and I really wanted to get involved with the conversation. A lot of times when I go to panels, I'm unfortunately for some reason people talk over me, and I never really get to express myself the way I would like to. And so I wonder if it's even, I don't mean to trouble anybody or anything, but I figured, you're looking at a guy here who has worked for both my city, for my state, we're talking government here, and the federal government. Um, I've run for political office. I'm not stupid. I have an IQ of over 140. Not that that means anything, because I didn't accomplish near as much in life as I should have. So to some degree, at almost 70 years old, I feel somewhat of a failure because I did not live up to the dreams that have been set forth by my family or even myself. So, but no. So here I am on YouTube trying to express opinions and thoughts, and I've been around the block. I know a thing or two. I've worked on both sides of the law, unfortunately, both good and bad. And we won't talk about that. It's not necessary. But, like a lot of people, I've seen a lot of things. And it gives me an interesting viewpoint. And that's why it's just, I've known, still do, we're all retired basically, but knew a lot of people who became judges, were children of judges. And so I've always looked at the legal system that way. I worked in the legal system, the administrative office of the courts. And I believe in being fair and listening to both sides before I draw a conclusion. I know that laws are generally based on morals. If it's morally incorrect, it's probably legally incorrect. You know what I'm saying? But lots of experience. Colonel Sanders stole the secret recipe. It's funny, Colonel. I live not too far from where Colonel Sanders' headquarters are, and that's kind of doxing myself. They've been moved, so it's no longer the case. So yeah, the Kentucky Fried Chicken is now Texas Fried Chicken. That disturbs me. Might as well change the freaking name. Sorry, I'll try to keep the language nice. Anyway, yikes. Okay, let's get back to where we're at. Yes, thank you, Gutters. I will look for emails and try to get that out there. Yeah, it was last Saturday night, I believe. I really wanted to come up and chit chat, and just too shy. So I started my own show and went about 8 hours that night. It was a good show, I think. Had a really nice panel and a nice crowd. And we talked about what MCF did to Adam Francisco. And we'll show that here. He allowed me to show it before, and I don't think he'll mind. I'm poking at him a little bit. He's always going to be my friend. Um, but maybe he was a little harsh to the guy, and you can judge for yourself. But there we go. Bear with me. Let's see if we can pull up the first. I'm sorry, I'm not very well prepared. I'm just going to fly by the seat of my pants. Let's start with the farmers market. Let's see if I can find that. There's the No Kings protesters. There we go. Cops banned me from Youth Pride. I watched that tonight, and that was kind of sketchy. The girl, you might consider her an instigator, but she's a very good person, I think. All in all, she's asking the tough questions, and she, again, from a legal standpoint, she's really got me interested because she got basically banned from an event, and then after discussing with her attorneys the next week that situation, she went back, and Adam Francisco was there, and they didn't say nothing to her because she was right. She had a legal right to be there. They didn't have a right to trespass her. One of the booths at the farmers market, the fella told her, he pointed over here into the street and said, go stand out there in the middle of the street. Well, she would got run over if she'd have done that. He went back to his booth and pulled up a picture of a gun. And when she had her camera trained on his booth, he was holding the picture of the gun. And what's that imply? Pretty rude man, if you ask me. I understand that he has been banned from the farmers market for that action. So he tried to get smart with her, and you see what happened. He was rude and threatening, if you ask me. He got his, so to speak, and that makes me feel good. I don't like people bullying other people. It really pisses me off. And so I like standing up for the little guys, so to speak. That's always been my feeling. I don't like people being treated by bullies that way. Let's see if we can find her. They were going through some of her. MAGA takes over Democrat-run farmers market. That's the farmers market, and that's the second week show. We'll maybe grab a few clips from it. Now, if we can just find it. Here we are. Democrat get cops to ban me from the farmers market. It was 4 weeks ago. All right, I'm going to pull it up, and I may have to kind of fast forward and stuff to get where I want to be. And bear with me. Back to StreamYard. Making sure I don't miss folks, and I appreciate y'all being here. Hollis Kuhn knows Adam is a good man. Adam, we'll get to here in a little bit. Went to her second rally at the farmers market. Adam wears the red hat and goes out to see what kind of reaction he's going to get at, we'll call them Democrat events, and he represents Trump, so to speak. Adam needs a kidney. He's terminally ill, so to speak. I don't. These are things he said, and I believe basically what he's saying is true. But that's a different story. I can't speak to that, but that's why I jumped MCF because I thought he was rude. He had no idea who this guy was. He's like, he's illegal, deport him. He screamed F Trump right in his ear when he walked up to him. It was about a 30-second exchange. And I just felt bad. I was like, you have no idea who you're talking to. A decent fella that might be, in dire physical, danger, so to speak. His health not so good. But we'll pray for that if that's the case. Pray for him. We'll get to Adam in a moment. So that's light the cigarette. We'll present and get the show rolling here. Thank you for letting me babble on, folks, for 28 minutes. I've been I talk a lot, so sorry. Share the screen. And Democrats, boom. And this is
Make sure you hit
Caitlin.
the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be alerted for when we upload the rest of the.
Okay, again, we just want bits and pieces. Let's just go right here and start. We're at the farmers market.
A city employee who recognized me tried to wield their power to get me kicked out, but was unsuccessful at doing so. And a police officer later said, it's within my rights to film here.
Have to move. You didn't pay to be able to promote your interviews in our street, so you have to move 2 seconds.
Yeah. For the city of Lakewood. Yeah, if you could give me the city code or something, then yeah.
The code?
Yeah.
Okay,
if you
I
could
can
show
call my directors and I can call the police.
Yeah, if you could get me like proof for that. Yeah. So we actually ask people who consent to be interviewed and we go back on the side. We never do it in the middle.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, we don't want to obstruct traffic because that's not kind. That's
right. Thank you very much. We appreciate your help.
You may recall that Democrats there said I'm banned from the farmers market, which was not true. No way. Who?
Mainly conservative media like Caitlin Bennett.
No, you are not.
She comes to
Return to the farmers market for the first time since March and makes me wonder how coordinated this was. It all started here. This is Julie Townsend. She's the executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Development Authority and a registered Democrat with a power complex who is notorious around town for using taxpayer dollars to install facial recognition cameras in Lakeland to spy on people who she puts on a watch list. As soon as I arrived, she somehow promptly found me walking down the street to let me know my presence wasn't welcome at her farmer's market and that she was going to follow me around and disrupt my interviews.
So if you could just
I've never
please-
spoken to you before.
Okay, then someone that looks very much like you that also does this, if you would just
Have you spoken to me before?
No, I have not
Okay.
spoken to you.
So the only time someone, I don't even see a name badge. It just says Downtown Lakeland on your hat. I don't even know
Yeah,
who you are.
I'm the executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Development Authority.
Okay, cool. So I've never spoken to you. I've spoken to one of your, I guess, city employees that tried to tell me that I had to leave. And you guys spread around to other people that I was banned from here. So
No.
yeah.
Oh, so you think because you say something, I'm supposed to believe it, but you don't believe what I say, just because I say it.
I think it's
I get
untrue
it.
that I
We
can't
can
stop.
step over here.
No, I'm going to continue my interviews.
Well, then I'll just disrupt you.
You're going to disrupt me?
Yeah.
Julie's aggression towards me started to make a little more sense when I learned she's also the wife of a disgraced former Florida school board member, Billy Townsend, a radical liberal who has written extensively about a Civil War.
So I did a little bit of checking into Julie Townsend as well. And boy, that just got me fuming when I saw this video. Just I don't know, I hate to use the word Nazi, but it's just when people get a taste of power, I think it goes to their head sometimes. You know, this woman tried to, she had the police approach her. She tried to get her kicked out. She tried to get her trespassed and then threatened with arrest. The cops denied that they said that in writing, yet we have it on film. And that's what I'm hoping to skip up to that. But there's her introduction to Julie Townsend. She claims she works for the government after she was asked, do you work for the city or the government or whatever? And she said, yes. And I think the city denied that as well. She runs hey, LW. She runs the Lakeland Downtown Development Authority. And they're the ones that got the permit for the farmers market. So, she's acting like she's in charge, and maybe technically she is, but as such, she's a despicable human being, Julie Townsend is, and they're talking about her husband. He's not so hot either, it appears. And this woman just used pure Gestapo tactics to try to scare somebody off, so to speak. But several of you have mentioned, Caitlin and Adam better than I do for years, I think a couple of you said. And I agree with you and appreciate that. You're more knowledgeable than I am in regards to this person and these people and stuff. And so I really appreciate y'all being here and your input. And you'll see that, like I said, I try to champion the cause of the little man. I was, you got to understand, I've got, now that we're not all alive, but there were at one time when we were all alive, 7 attorneys in my family, uncles, cousins, niece, son-in-law, stuff like that. And I wanted to get everybody together and just, destroy this woman. That's how I feel about things. I get very passionate and stuff. And then I'm also like, most of these, but we're retired. We don't want to get involved, so to speak. And, that's your right, your choice. But just, I got really passionate about it. I wanted to make phone calls and say, hey, look at this. What can we do about this? How much more can we expose this lady? She has no right to run anything with the attitude that she has. 46 people in the house. Where have you all come from? God bless you. Love you all. Jesus H. Let's get back to a little bit of Caitlin. and see what else may have happened here. Let's
war
maybe
with
have to skip
MAGA and has made a ton of bizarre over me or anyone else. They pollute public life with their behavior, and I have learned that they shrink like the mob joining cowards they are. Actually purge Trump/MAGA from our civic life in Lakeland. This next quote makes Julie's targeted behavior towards me really interesting. Just half a year ago, her husband wrote online, quote, "The best we libs can do for now is limit our direct public exposure to the personal consequences of MAGA weakness, protect each other, and rub MAGA uselessness in people's faces when it serves to reduce their power. We also need to start using our enormous, largely untapped social and economic private power as relatives, friends, employees, citizens, as ruthless and selfish with the MAGAs in our lives. It is imperative." Seems a little fishy that then Julie Townsend is treating a known Trump supporter exactly the way her husband advises liberals too. Don't you think? Let's keep rolling the tape. You're going to disrupt me?
Yeah.
The executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Farmers Market is going to disrupt my interviews?
Like for you to move to the sidewalk. That's all I'm asking, so that you're not blocking people who are walking with strollers.
Do you say that to everybody who comes here and
Who do you see her blocking right now? I'm sorry, she's walking in the middle of the freaking road. She's not blocking people from accessing a booth on either side. Once again, lies. I don't tolerate liars very well. Excuse me for that. Thank you all again for being here, and I hope you don't mind the content today. Just wanted to get a few things off my chest, and some of you already know about this stuff. If you don't, you might become enraged like I have been. So bless you all for being here.
in blocks, like groups of
I
people?
do. I do, actually.
Are you a city employee?
I'm not. I'm the executive director of the Lakeland Downtown Development.
And you don't get paid by the government or anything?
I do get paid by the government.
Okay, so you're a government employee?
Yes.
Okay, that's
She doesn't work for the city, but she's a government employee. My guess is that the city funds this downtown group. Don't know for sure, but in an offhand way, what is she saying? I'm not a city employee, but I'm a government employee. As a government employee, should she be involved in this type of enterprise, a farmer's market? I don't know. Is she with the not the FFA, but you know what I mean? It's the Future Farmers of America. What? Just who is she? What is she? Like I said, there were denials. And we'll see. We'll get to those here in a bit. War at the farmers market, LW. You know it. You know it. Caitlin used to work for, I think, InfoWars and reporting. She's a sweet lady. She got a couple of young children, I believe, and she doesn't want to push the boundaries too far because she wants to get home to her kids. She doesn't need to be. She'd like to challenge the status quo, so to speak, but she doesn't want to go to jail for it. And I don't like her being deprived of her rights, and that's why I'm championing her cause to a point. Like I said, some people call her an instigator, and I appreciate that opinion, and in a way, she might be considered such. But somebody's got to ask the tough questions. These are issues that need to be discussed and talked about. People shouldn't be treated this way, and I've seen how they treat her, and whether they know her or not, they're violating her rights. And that's violating my rights and your rights, in my opinion. Let's get back to her.
That was my question. Good to know. I don't want to be harassed and followed by a city and government employee, so please do not follow me. And I'm done engaging with you, so don't follow me. So she's trailing behind. Watch what she does next. This white Democrat had the nerve to tell these two polite black women to shut up and stop talking to me. And they weren't having any of it.
They still have their
Disrupting
superiority.
his ability to conduct business because he's trying to conduct.
This is Julie
I'm
Townsend.
asking for
She's
you to
the
interview with
executive
her. If you
director.
could just do it on the
And she
side.
says she's going to follow me and disrupt me from talking to people
I'm just gonna
freely.
disrupt you
Okay,
when
we'll
you
move
stand
we'll
in
move
front
over
of a
here because
vendor
I'm
who's
talking
trying
to a
conduct
woman
business.
that's trying to tell
paid
me
to be
about the
here.
harm that white people have
live in
caused this
Exactly
country
is why this last answer is yes.
because of her.
Yes,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, the last question is white people harm America. And she's using you as an example for
Because
that.
he's trying to conduct business,
Yeah.
and you stop people.
You claim you
for
said
being a
that you would
customer.
disrupt me today,
I did.
having conversations
I wasn't disrupting
with a
you
black
until you
woman about
stopped.
important issues.
people can walk past, and when we move, they can come back.
Or it's
He's
a
not
simple
directly
excuse me. A
directed.
simple excuse me would
Right.
suffice. If you wanted to walk through here, if you said excuse me, I would step back. Otherwise, I'm not moving. But anyways,
Yeah.
thank you. Here's your pen
I
back.
appreciate. Sorry for your experience here.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, we've dealt with stuff like that a very long time. So it has nothing to do with this per se.
To do.
It's
with
just her
anything.
being rude and want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would appreciate.
Isn't that just amazing? The treatment, is just unreal from a government employee. Is she on the clock working for the government right now? Oh, I'm sorry. She's in charge of the farmers market. She's the boss. But boy, she's not painting a really good picture here with her disruption, admitted disruption. I'm going to disrupt you. Talk about a violation of your First Amendment rights to or whatever, free speech, all that kind of stuff. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Hey, Jessica Lynn, good to have you here. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. Hope you enjoy.
If you didn't follow me though, like for the record,
like
I'm not
harassment or
following
something.
I
you
would
asked
say
her?
yes. I have asked her to leave me alone.
That's
And
what that
considering
sounds
that I am a minor, you could also be charged with harassment of a minor too, and that will just add to your charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't follow me.
I'm not following you.
Okay. Yeah. Don't approach me, and I don't want to speak to you anymore. Okay. All right. Thank
I'm not following you, but I'm standing right next to you, interrupting your free conversation with two lovely young black ladies. Idiot, absolute idiot. She should lose her job. That would be my goal. I don't mean to be mean, but this woman deserves to not be representing people this way. However she represents them, it's just adorable to me.
Thank you guys for
You're
standing
welcome.
up. for
You
me. I
have a
appreciate
good
it.
day.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Oh, thank you. I talked to the cops a little later on who, like every other time I've been to the farmer's market, told me that I'm welcome to film and only asked that I step off to the side. So as you can see, I complied with their request for literally all of my interviews.
It's basic. All it is that it's fine for you to do what you're doing.
I know
She's just
that.
asking that you guys move off to the side and not
Yeah,
block.
if the people
the
want to
vendors.
move off to the side, I have no problem moving with them, but I can't force people to like move. But we do generally go off to the side.
Okay.
There's shade there, so
That's
I'm not
basically-
standing in the
it's not,
side.
it's not
So-
to make your interview. It's basically
So is this not a public street right now?
So what happens is that the Lakeland Downtown Authority, every time they have the farmers market,
Right.
they kind of like reserve the street.
And they
So
can
pay
kick
for
out
their
people?
permits. Yes, they actually have authority to trespass people.
Okay.
They're not wanting to trespass you. All
Yeah,
they're
that
asking
would-
is kindly
that would be
to step off to the side.
Fast forward to 11:53 a.m., and I was interrupted by a group of liberals who stopped us along the street to hurl their usual insults at me.
No, I really don't. Rage when you yourself at a party?
No, I felt very relieved.
Oh, wow.
You know, I really understand that. It
Yeah.
must have
Being so full of it had to feel really
It
good.
did. It did. Yeah.
I mean, like straight down your pants.
Well, the picture they said I was in a dress, so it's not pants.
Oh, okay. But that makes a difference.
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that you like yourself.
That's really the
Well, you can see more of it with the picture that they say is me in the dress. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, but I mean, you just admitted that it was you. So, I mean, it's not a.
Yeah, but I didn't wear pants. So you said rage baiting. You're asking if I'm rage baiting people. But do
I'm
you
not really
feel
interested in
rage?
what you're doing? Place where you're obviously not wanted to be.
Why would I not be welcome? Why do people not want me
You
here?
had multiple vendors say that you need to stay on the sidewalk. Did you?
That is one man, and actually I've taken pictures with several vendors here today.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So I am welcome
that
here
doesn't
because we are in
change
Polk County, and that is a red county.
Because you're talking to us. You're in
Turn
that
around.
conversation.
Just turn around.
Right now, we're doing exactly what is necessary for her to be able to have a platform.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like hating people and using hate to get attention is something that I like.
What is hateful on here?
Literally everything you do. So I'm going to walk away.
Okay. Well, I would just like
I hope you
examples.
feel better.
Well, I feel great. I don't think men can get pregnant. I don't think Trump is an obvious racist, and no one has given me proof today.
You're entitled to your opinion. That's the great. I have the have to owe anybody any sort of kindness, which you don't clearly.
Okay.
So we're on the same page. It's perfect.
How am I not kind?
Oh, how are you not kind? Let's see. You're making inflammatory remarks. You're coming up.
I'm
to
asking people
You're
their
in my personal
opinions.
space. You're in my personal bubble.
Uh-huh.
We
So,
told you that we don't want to
so
we don't want to tell you. We don't
there's
want the camera
these
on
are
us.
just statements for people to agree or disagree with.
And I disagree with them.
So how are they good? Okay, I don't care.
So you disagree that we would have been better off had Kamala
He is
won?
nothing.
You disagree
He
with
still
that?
is.
You're still talking to me. It's for content.
So why are you still talking to me?
It's for content.
So why are you still talking to me?
I'm gonna move on to other people though. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You got something in your teeth right there. After letting them throw their tantrum, I continued with my interviews, despite being hidden off along the side, just like I was asked to. Watch this.
This is one of the new cameras put up by the Lakeland Downtown Development Authority. It is recording video and detecting my face right now.
So if we have a photo of a person that we've identified as a person of interest, we can upload that to the system. And then when that person is found on a camera throughout the district, it'll send us an alert.
We are told that alert goes to the LDDA Clean and Safe Manager, Tony Davila, and Lakeland police officers who patrol downtown.
So I just so happen to be right underneath the spy camera that Julie has access to and can use to notify police about, quote, persons of interest, which I now am one of.
Townsend's response: people should expect to be surveilled in public.
We're hyper focused on folks who have been identified as causing problems in the district. The rest of you, we have no interest in following you around and looking at what you're doing all day.
And police just so happened to find exactly where I am 30 minutes later. Weird. But here's what happened next when the cops talked to me.
Are we getting in trouble again?
Yes.
Why?
So we've actually seen messages in this WhatsApp group chat that they have. So we're now getting complaints that
What's that on? What is that going to be on?
This is Liberty Hangout. We're Trump
Liberty
supporters.
Hangout. Okay,
This is
cool,
friendly
cool, cool.
media.
Yes, thank you.
This
Thank
is
you for
friendly
what you
media.
do.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Appreciate it. What
okay
groups in a chats in a
so
WhatsApp?
they have, so that like Lakeland Downtown Authority, going back to them, right? Everybody here, when they're part of all the vendors and stuff,
Sure.
they have like their own group chat where they communicate. Okay, so it's coming to our attention now that, again, we're just communicating this. Okay,
Sure.
that you guys are saying kind of disrespectful things about deportation and saying some hateful statements.
Okay.
So at this point now, they do want to have you trespass on the property.
For my speech?
And right there, the cop says that. And then the police issued a statement, which I'm not going to go dig out, but I made a copy of it and I posted it on the comments for this video. The police released a statement that said no one was trespassed. And we did not trespass anyone, or whatever the exact wording was. But once again, tyrant liars.
I'm not saying anything. These are people. These are actually their customers
So
that
the
are
customers-
engaging in this.
So some of these customers have been going to the downtown set and filing complaints with the authority.
You're making an inflammatory remark. I don't really feel like hating people and using hate to get attention is something that I like. You guys are saying kind of disrespectful things about deportation and saying some hateful statements.
That's fine if they want to complain, but I can say my opinions out on the street, right?
You can say your opinions. However, like we were trying to say before, is that this is to say this in a more understandable way. This is a private event open to the public.
Okay, so I'm
they
the
do
public.
They do have the right, the authority to trespass people if they want to.
Okay, so
they
to be
do have
clear,
the
they're
right.
wanting to trespass me based on my speech.
It's not based on your speech. It's based on the fact that they've asked you already to step off to the side,
And
right?
I've done that. You just witnessed me doing
So
that.
we have other pictures that show otherwise. We also have messages that show otherwise.
What messages that show otherwise?
That's something that you
Can I
could-
show them? Because I'm being accused with this proof.
So this we can definitely, what I'll do is I'll be able to
I want to
document-
see it.
Okay, can you let me speak, please?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to document everything,
Okay.
right, into this call note that we have created, right? So I'm going to
Mhm.
take down your guys' information. I'll take down her information. Okay.
Who's her?
The representative of the Lakeland Downtown Authority.
Okay.
Who we spoke about earlier.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to give you that case number, and if you would like to get a copy of all of that, you can actually talk to the LPD records and provide that case number, and then maybe they can contact.
So to be clear, are we
you
being charged with trespassing or asked to leave?
No, you're being trespassed.
We're being charged.
If you come back,
It's not a charge.
It's-
It's basically
yeah.
it's basically
It's a
telling you that
warning.
We're just being asked to leave.
It's
you're
a
no
warning,
longer
yeah.
to be over here. Yeah.
yeah,
So where are the limits that they've reserved?
farmers market.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you cannot come back to the farmers market as long as they are having them every Saturday, whatever hours it is. It's typically 8 to 2, sometimes 8 to 1. You just cannot come back to the farmers market. If you do come back and they do call us back because you guys are trespassing, you could face jail time for that. So at this point, it's just a warning. You're not actually being charged with misdemeanor.
For what though? Like what have I done?
A case number. Oh my God. And they denied. How dare the police deny that they trespassed someone? And she's got all this on camera. I mean, dumbasses. So later that week, Caitlin got with her lawyers. Like I said, they clarified whether she had a right to be there. And she did have a right to be there. And she showed up the next week with Adam Francisco and about 50 other people or so. No one approached her the same way. Not the cops, not Julie Townsend, no one. So just ridiculousness. That's all I can say. This is what we're dealing with here in America. You know, they're trying to take our rights away. People lie to get the police to do their bidding. That offends me. It's a waste of our government resources when people lie like that, and then they need to be held accountable for the lies. That's why I'm, kind of sketchy about the defamation of character and things like that, and the way treat people. When you make up lies about people and then use the law against them with your lies, you're a despicable human being. Just my opinion.
And that's wrong.
Basically,
Or does it matter? They
you're
get
not
to have the
complying with
discretion.
rules.
Yes,
the
I did.
rules. You're not complying with the rules.
Yes, I am. You
Because-
guys came up to me and said that it was because I've been saying things that they don't like.
Because they are hosting the event, so at that point they want to trespass.
So it doesn't matter. Like they could trespass
Yes.
black people if they wanted to.
They can
Any
trespass
business
any
owner can
yeah,
trespass
Right.
whoever they want for
Yeah.
any reason.
anybody.
Yeah. So they're like,
It's-
that person's black. We don't want
It's
them
not
here.
About color.
No. It's about
you're
what it's about.
you're
But I'm just
bringing-
wanting
you're
for an
bringing this to
example.
another level,
I'm just
okay?
wanting an example. So it's not because of who I am. It's because I'm off to the side. You literally just witnessed that I am following their
So
rules.
as I was mentioning before, right? I understand you're saying that these customers are engaging with you.
Yeah.
However, there are some customers that don't feel comfortable.
So
They
who's more
feel-
important?
They do feel like they are being harassed, and
No, they don't.
and they are making complaints with the Lakeland.
They feel the police are now the feelings police. MCF Sco, good to see you, bro. Yeah, we call this democracy. I don't know. I call it communism. Jesus.
The downtown authority.
Well,
okay, which then
that's not my
give the
fault.
responsibility over to us, and they want you guys trespass. So no.
Okay, we'll stay on the sidewalks because we can be on the sidewalks.
Do you guys have your license?
No.
Do you have anything?
No.
Okay.
Well, at this point, you need to leave the event.
Okay, we'll be on the sidewalk
Keeping
then.
the event now.
So they own the
Listen,
public
if you-
sidewalk?
If you want to host your event, you have to cross.
Can you show
another-
me the policy
So the
or the
sidewalk-
law?
So right now, wherever you see this farmer's market at, right?
Yes, there's no vendors on the sidewalk.
Okay, the immediately surrounding sidewalks, they are also have permits for that.
It's just confusing because
It is.
every time we're talking to you guys, event coordinators, the parameters that we're allowed to be in, what we're asked
Yeah.
to do.
They've asked us to get on the sidewalk.
It's changing every time.
Every
so
time. Have you
it's
guys?
making it really confusing for us.
Yeah.
We've been here. This is probably the fourth or fifth time.
Okay.
Last time we spoke to an officer, he said we have every right to be here.
Yeah.
They can't kick us off. They said just come to
Okay.
the side, and you guys are okay. So we come to the side. We've been asked to go to the sidewalk. We've come to the side. So we're every time. I mean, we don't want to bother people. We're
I
being as
understand.
respectful as we
Yeah, no,
can.
you guys are trying to do your own thing. I
Yeah,
get that.
yeah.
But why would an officer last time say that just come off to
Oh, and by the way, in my court of law, now that I see their uniforms, there's no doubt that the police attempted to trespass her. So when they issued a statement saying that they didn't, this proves that they're utter and complete liars, self-serving individuals. And frankly, I'd be going after the police chief on this one. I cannot stand tyrants, especially when they get caught in their own lies. As Junior Coltrane would say, how embarrassing.
off to the side and we have every right to be here, but now we don't even have a right to be on this public sidewalk. So are you saying that we can't walk down the sidewalk or just as
What I'm gonna
citizens if there
recommend-
was a farmer's market?
what
Could you
I'm-
answer that so
what
we
I'm-
know our perimeters?
Here's what I'm gonna recommend, okay? Because I understand that
It's just-
there's
it's
also
changing for us
it's
every
Yeah,
changing.
it's really
So
confusing.
here's what I'm gonna recommend so that everybody's on the same page here.
Mhm.
Tomorrow or Monday, whenever the Lakeland, the downtown authority offices open,
Mhm.
speak to them.
Okay.
See if you can get something in writing from them that clearly delineates or clearly outlines where you're allowed to be,
Sure.
not allowed to be, what you're allowed to do, not allowed to do. That way there are no issues. That way you guys don't continue to run into these kind of
Of course.
Okay. at this point, we are going to do the trespass. You guys are just going to have to leave. Okay. But then on Monday, when you speak to them, if they are okay with you coming back to the property, to the farmers market, and doing this, I would also try to get that in writing, because it's her word versus his word. It's so until we can get something definitive, it'll just clear it up for everybody.
Who has the final authority over trespass? Because there were several vendors that were
For
okay
this
with us being
particular
here,
event, so for this particular event, it would be the Lakeland Downtown Authority.
Okay.
Because these vendors, right, they pay the authority to be here, and then the authority has their own rules and regulations as far as the farmers market.
Okay.
So it's like, imagine if you were renting out an entire street for a block party.
Yeah.
And putting the permits for a block party. This is kind of the
But
same
what about the
concept.
sidewalk? Because my question is, if we're trespassed from the sidewalk, then if there's a farmer's market going on, we can't come with our family to even be and go to Jimmy John's, because we can't walk on this sidewalk. There's no way.
How that's like upsetting, and that could be frustrating. That's why
I don't think it includes the sidewalk, because they've asked us to go on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Because they reserve the street, not the sidewalk. So how did they all of a sudden start reserving the sidewalk?
I would think that there's no issue with you being on the sidewalk, right, as long as you're not blocking it, because there is an ordinance.
We know about that.
That states you cannot block a sidewalk if people have to walk
Can I
around
mention
you.
something?
Yeah.
While this gentleman was walking by, he was with a group that was saying very sexually explicit things about her.
Okay.
So I'm just curious why political discussion isn't allowed, but they're sexually harassing her,
It's
and that's
about-
all. That's all on video.
Yeah. No,
That's all on
it's
video.
not about, again, it's
Who
not
complains first?
It's not that your context is an issue. It's about some of the statements that you were making along with the behaviors.
Can you give me proof of that and what has been complained?
Like what specifically?
So as far as we're concerned is that just some of these customers feel harassed because they feel that like you're kind of putting them from these vendors to speak to them, or that there have been some disrespectful comments made about deportation, things of that nature. Okay. But this is just a warning. What I'm trying to boil down
I'm
to
getting
the fact-
warned for my speech.
It's not for your speech.
But I would like proof that I actually said anything like that.
So what I can do is I can give you the call number for this. I can document that I spoke to you guys, I spoke to them, and that you guys would reach out to the Lakeland Authority on Monday.
Okay.
And that way on Monday, you guys can get it clearly figured out what you're allowed to do, not allowed to do, where you're allowed to be,
And
not
if
allowed
we wanted
be.
to file a complaint about some of the individuals here who are harassing us, can we do that as well now or on Monday?
I believe that would have to be through Monday, because
Okay.
if some of those people happen to be
Well, the event
vendors-
organizer, I think her name was Julie.
They spoke to her.
I know, but she was following you after.
I
you
know,
said,
and
"Please
so
don't
I made
follow."
that complaint, but she wasn't trespassed
Right.
for harassing and following me.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a case number.
Okay,
and
that's
then,
fine.
Well, we can go from there.
Sorry.
And that way,
We're
get
not
this
trying
all
to be hard.
sorted
We're just
out.
trying to figure everything out.
I can understand.
I don't think, I mean, I really honestly would have a hard time seeing as though we would be trespassed from a public sidewalk.
That's why I said as far as
But
we're
you don't
concerned-
know?
As far as we're concerned, you can be on the sidewalk, but you can't block.
But you told me that
Okay.
I couldn't at first.
Okay, that was at first, because we're dealing with a lot. We're dealing with a lot right now. You know,
Yeah.
like we're all just trying to get this all sorted out.
Okay.
You can be on the sidewalk, like you said. It's a public.
Maybe they should have gotten that sorted out when they were at school for police science. And you look this one up. Yes, I attended the Southern Police Institute. So in preparation for law school, I took some courses in police science, if you will. And, it's just weird to see, again, it's all different parts of the system. Not everyone knows the laws or how to apply the laws. And these people are just fumbling around. First, you can't be on the sidewalk. Now you can be on the sidewalk. They don't know what the F they're doing. And they just need better training, perhaps. They shouldn't be puppets for people like this lady, Julie Townsend. I don't like the puppetry.
Public sidewalk.
What about one part?
So if I step
You can be in
into
one
the
part.
street,
okay.
if I step into the street, you guys are gonna
street
arrest me?
is farmers market.
You're gonna arrest me for stepping into the street.
We don't want to get it to that point.
But will you? So I know what to expect
Yes.
from you guys.
So
if I step off the curb, you will arrest me.
There's that possibility of
They
facing
call
jail time.
again,
That's
hereby
silly.
disrupting the books.
I'm
That
not
would be a
disrupting
possibility.
anybody. They
Casey
just don't like my
Jones and
opinions
Mad
because they're
Max.
Democrats and they don't like my speech. So they want to exclude me from a
TV.
space that they do not own. Not one individual person owns this. She works for the government. Is the Downtown Lakeland Authority a government institution?
Well, they have a mayor, so yeah.
So the person who wants to trespass me, that's a government institution, is someone who works for the government.
She worked for the city.
Yeah, she works for the city. So a city employee who is get paid by taxpayer dollars that I contribute to is wanting to.
She denied being a city employee, I believe. So not a city employee. Is she a city employee? You know, who governs the downtown development, you know, organization or whatever, the LDDA? Who, you know, what is that? Is it a government entity? Is it a government job? Did she get a check? Who'd she get her check from? I don't know.
To trespass me from a farmer's market for my political
It's
opinions.
the same thing. Like if you let's see, the person just came to the mom park with the drum set. Start playing the drum.
I don't think that's fair to compare me to someone
And
who's being
at that
disruptive
point,
like that.
The city called that he cannot be like doing that type of noise. He could be trespassed.
Yeah, but you guys
could
came
be
up.
trespassed for any area of the city.
Okay. Right. So the government is trespassing me, and you guys came up and said because of my statements about
I never said
illegal
about the statement.
Yeah. Is it okay if I take a picture with them? Is that okay?
Huh?
Can I take a picture with
So
them?
is this-
Okay, thank
are
you.
they-
They've been waiting for so long. I followed all commands that you guys asked me to do,
Right.
and I think it's unfair and discriminatory that they're using my speech for a reason why I can't be inside of this when it's the
That's something
government
that you can brought up
institution.
on Monday to the city about it, because you can complain to this. You can make a claim to the city. At that point, they issue
We
a permit
should
to them.
apply for a booth here. We'll get rejected, but we should apply for a booth.
You have the right.
I think if you want to help us, maybe we should do that.
That's something they allow you. Yeah.
After all this fun, we were on our way out when the vendor from a St. Petersburg restaurant called Jay's Marketplace, who was just so disturbed by my presence that he had to report me, decided to get in my face and threaten me and get really, really weird.
Bye-bye.
Did you complain about me? Did you complain about me?
Yeah, I complain about you.
Why?
All the time. Go down this way.
Why?
Go in the middle of the street right there and talk to people. Wait.
I can be on the side.
The middle of the street to talk to people? He's suggesting that she subject herself to the possibility of being killed by a vehicle. This is an idiot. Oh, it gets worse.
Sidewalk.
He's threatening you.
What are?
He said go in the middle of the
threatening
street.
anybody.
Why do you want me in the middle of the street? You approached me to be
Ma'am,
fair. Why did you
poop in your
complain?
Panties.
Now he's sexually harassing.
That's what-
a woman.
Yeah,
that's what
why
I-
are you talking about my panties, sir? So that is the person that the police did his dirty work on behalf. That is very interesting. He's so angry. I don't know if he should be allowed to be a vendor here, considering how he just talked about my panties and wanted me to stand. He was like, get over here, go in the middle of the street.
Trying to push you in the middle of the road?
I don't know. He was very.
You fear for your life right now?
I feel a little unsafe. I'll be honest. I do feel unsafe. And why? So look, he's taking pictures of me. There was someone that just said that it's important to have these conversations, and she appreciates me being here. There's actually several vendors here today that love what I do, but why aren't they allowed to have an opinion in the matter? But oh look, they're talking to the wolf guy. So they both made complaints about me. The Wolf Shop, Fiber Art and More. Oh, that's the woman who was talking to the police behind me. Right there in pink, the pink shirt. She was talking to the police behind me. So she came down to complain to the police as well. I'm on a public sidewalk. I'm allowed to be here. We will follow the rules, and we're not trying to push boundaries with the police or anything. But I know that I'm allowed to be on a public sidewalk. I know that. That guy is trying to tell me that I need to go in the middle of the street.
Now he's.
Why are you holding?
Is that not some type of subliminal threat? Showing a picture of a gun? What's he trying to imply there? Funny thing is, I understand that his booth is now banned at the farmer's market, and probably for this particular action right here with the picture of a gun. Just a total idiot, but there's plenty of them in this world, aren't there?
Putting up a picture of a gun at me. What is going
Go
on?
make a police report about this guy.
Yeah, we probably should. And look, he's going over to talk to the Wolf Shop. I think she's probably on the phone with the police again. After all of this, I did go to the police department and file a report against that man who held up that picture of the gun that was on the magazine. That was super freaky and actually it did worry me a little bit because that's never really happened to me before. But I wanted to point out that I looked at the rules for vendors at the farmers market. And they have a rule for the vendors that says any verbal or physical abuse by a vendor to another vendor or a member of the public is cause for immediate expulsion from the market. And so, Julie, this is a call to action for you to hold that vendor to your standards and to your rules. He should be immediately expelled. He should never set foot back into the farmers market ever again, and that booth should not be allowed to be there next Saturday. And Julie, I am calling on you to step down from your position because you have a history of treating people poorly and abusing your power. I would like to know, and all of my viewers would like to know, are Trump supporters allowed to engage in political discussion about deportation or any other conservative opinion at the farmers market or any other LDDA event? If you go to the Lakeland Farmers Market or if you're a vendor at the Lakeland Farmers Market, please reach out, send me a message. I would love to talk to you and gather your thoughts. Thank you.
All right, let's pull that down for a bit. Pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable and what's not on YouTube, I guess. 55 people in the house. Thank you all for being here. 55. You're welcome to join me. The link is pinned. Just covering a few things that I saw over the weekend and over the last couple of weeks. Interesting behavior on the parts of many people. And that's just a little something to get us started. So what do you think? I've seen a few of your comments in the chat. I have an idea of what most of you think. Pretty absurd behavior all around. And, amazing. Perhaps we'll go to the next a week where we'll see Adams come in support of her, just to give you a little update. And I'll probably only give you a couple of minutes on what happened there. Also, I think I need to look in the comments here and see if I can find mine. I don't know if she's got like 7,000 comments. It's not going to be easy for me to find, I imagine. But boy, I thought it, which was fairly readily available 4 weeks ago. And I only made my comment like last week or something. Yeah, there's no way I could find it that fast. If someone had, like given me a thumb up on my comment or something, I'd be able to find that comment faster, through my notifications, I guess, would take me straight to it. But take my word for it. I posted the letter that was written, typed by the police department saying no one was trespassed. And, well, lies. And I got the evidence, the actual memo stating that we didn't do that. Well, now look at the footage. You did do it. Your people did do it. So pretty damn disgusting. All right, let's get back to the top here. I will try to find another video regarding this subject where they went the next week after talking to their lawyer and determining that what they were doing was legal. And may not be too easy, especially with my slow-moving eye. We're not completely recovered. A month ago, 4 months ago, here we go. Videos. 4 days ago. Cops, oh, that's sweet. Here we are. Boom. I'll have to rewind it a little bit. All righty, let's bring her all back up. Yes, Casey, it went pretty well. How many penises am I hope only one, Casey, only one. And I really don't want to see it, so, there's that. One. Oh. Excuse me. 50 folks still hanging out with us. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. We'll start off with the beginning.
And a couple little protesters don't want us to have this right. This is MAGA country. Okay, I would love if Adam could just lead this with me. We are going to walk down to the farmer's market, in which I was threatened with arrest for being at.
Lakeland decided to show up and come out, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. I'm so proud of the MAGA movement.
You see these people, you think, oh, maybe they're operating good faith. They're not. Be an American, be a true American. Don't negotiate with terrorists.
I do think it's brave, though. We got one protester, so that's something, right?
Don't negotiate with terrorists, guys. Don't platform them. Don't debate them.
Remember last week when I was threatened with arrest if I didn't leave this farmer's market right here?
We can
Stop.
step over here.
No, I'm going to continue my interviews.
Okay. Well, then I'll just disrupt you.
You're going to disrupt me?
Yeah.
You guys are saying kind of disrespectful things about deportation and saying some hateful statements.
Okay.
So at this point, now they do want to have you trespass from the property.
Well, I'm back. I'm not going to get arrested because they can't do that. I have lawyers on my side, and I have the First Amendment on my side, more importantly. So let's go meet some people who are standing up for free speech today and have a good time. And if you remember, I was specifically kicked out for my speech about deportation. Ironically, I wasn't talking about deportation that day, but I am today. We're going to make deportation great again. And that's why Trump is our president. So these are my friends from the rally, the protest the other day. They're here to keep eyes on me and to warn people that I'm here. So thank you guys so much for doing a great job. So are you against me being here? Like you're just generally against free speech? Is that our anti?
And like Sco said, notice how each one has a mask on a hot summer day in Florida. People have to hide behind masks. She's not wearing a mask. She's not hiding. We know her name. Cheers to Caitlin for standing up for our rights.
Tifa friend from the protest too? Is that him? This is Magdalene. She's very passionate about what she does. I don't know the Antifa guy's name, but we'll catch up with them later. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out, especially in just a week's notice. There wasn't any call to action for this besides I know Robert and Adam kind of put this together. This is so important that you guys are here to celebrate a victory, really. We're not protesting anything because we won. We are allowed to be in the farmer's market. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about in the farmer's market. We are in Polk County. Did they forget this? I don't know where they think that they are. If they want a more liberal place to be, maybe they should go out to Tampa, get of power who are going to arrest people or get the cops to threaten with arrest for talking about deportation. So I have my Make Deportation Great Again age with anybody. I welcome anybody who might want to just stroll through the market with our free speech attire. Join me if you would like to. It's a peaceful walkthrough, and that's yourselves a round of applause for coming out here and supporting this. I appreciate you guys.
Am I able to come here and put a contrary opinion out?
Yeah, I think you'd find that any one of these people would respectfully engage in discussion with you without name calling, without asking you to leave, and they would love to talk about what you have on your mind.
Okay, second point. Okay, I live down here. I've had zoning issues down here. I've gone to zoning hearings, county commission. Okay, I got to tell you, okay, I think Julie Townsend is a champion for business and a champion for people that live downtown. Okay, I think she's kind of getting painted. You're painting trim with an 8-inch brush right now. I think that she does a really, really good job of.
Wow, I don't paint trim with an 8-inch brush. I usually use one of those little artists, I can't remember what they call them, but yeah, a fine brush. I don't know. When I paint trim. Sorry.
jockeying all the interests in downtown.
Okay,
And
I'm not.
I'm sure
I don't
this
think
won't make
anyone
the
here.
newspaper, but at
Well,
the
it's
end
not,
of the
we're not
day-
saying she doesn't do a good job, but she doesn't have the right to
Yeah.
violate constitutional rights of a citizen.
Now I got to tell you, okay, I was eating there about a month ago, and there was some religious guy, and he's doing his free speech, and he had a boom box, and he is shouting, and the people in the restaurant over there, you couldn't talk to the person across the table. The police came over very respectfully, and they moved him down the street. Okay, are they violating his rights? No, but these people here with this business, they have an ability to make a living. Okay, and I'm not going to eat there. Okay, outside on a beautiful day and drop some serious money if I can't carry on a conversation with my wife and my neighbors. So at the end of the day, Julie's got a job to do, right? Everybody, right?
Can I respond to all of that?
Sure.
So there's actually an ordinance in the city where you can't use amplification devices. So he was probably breaking a law or an ordinance in the city.
This guy right over here is using an amplification.
Yeah,
right?
so there's decibels, and if it was that loud, the police do have authority to come and say, hey, that's against the city ordinance, whatever. What I was doing was none of that. I was walking down the street, engaging in people who wanted to talk to me.
I heard you were blocking traffic.
No.
And
No.
even if I wasn't blocking traffic, and even if I was blocking traffic, the issue we have with Julie Townsend is not her ability to perform, events and stuff. I think it's very obvious she's very talented in organizing events and businesses and getting things together like this. No one has a problem with the farmers market or how it's ran in terms of who's allowed in and the thing of it. Like, this is a great event. Her First Friday events are great. Whatever she does on that side is great. The issue is that she is against free speech for conservatives, and I have internal communication that says so that we will be releasing here with this video along with everything that goes on today. The issue is that she told the police to remove me for my opinions on deportation. That's what we're here today to stand.
Let's see if we can blow that up so you can read it a little better. And I remember reading this. Let's see. Hurting vendors' ability to conduct business. I asked her to move to the sidewalk, not in the footprint. At no point did I ban her or tell her I was going to have her arrested. That sounds like a lie, because the cops came up and said, you're being trespassed under threat of arrest. They spoke to her at length, but no trespass warning was written that I observed. No, it was said verbally, and they've got it on tape, on video. Though I have not watched it, some reports back to me make it clear that she has lies and mistruths throughout. Well, I think it's the other way around. She requested officers for the next one, for the next farmer's market. I didn't see them. This is the video we're watching right now. I've seen other places where she actually called this Caitlin a bunch of names and stuff like that, and just very unprofessional. So, blah, blah, blah.
Stand against. I have every right. Even if I were blocking traffic, I was allowed to be there standing in the middle of the street because we did public records requests, and it turns out she has no authority over the street. She just has permission to be on the street. My attorney did double check that, and if
and this government employee made these remarks. Finally, these people are professional provocateurs. I encourage you to Google her. See how dimly she is viewed within her professional provocateur peers. Skip along. There were just some other inflammatory. Anyway, this woman needs to keep her mouth shut.
If she doesn't want to follow that, he's prepared to file suit and go to federal litigation with this. So
he's probably going to lose, okay? Because
okay, that's fine. I'm going to move on.
Go ahead.
Thank you for your opinion. If you want to talk to anybody else, that's fine. But I'm personally going to move on.
We are in full support of you, ma'am.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I love your sign there. Get a sign.
Correct.
But a lot of the people were acting when you were here last week, in my opinion, and I don't think that's very American-like. So
right, yeah.
If you're illegal, come back in the right way, leave, and then reapply. I think that they should self-deport and then reapply, come in the right way.
They should do us a favor by self-deporting so we don't have to, go through the process. Right there, that's the guy I think that controls the camera and gets alerted to when they're there. This is actually a very beautiful market. I don't think anyone is talking about, being against Julie's ability to conduct beautiful events here. It's just the issue is she wants to control who gets to come and who gets to speak and what is talked about here. And the people of Polk County is not having it. So very, very proud of everybody who showed up today. Thank you personally from the bottom of my heart for standing up for what's right. Not even for me, but for your ability to speak freely on a public street that you guys pay for. And there's the spy camera right there. That's the famous spy camera? That's the famous spy camera right there.
I've been wanting to run into you at every farmer's market. I'm like, she's always there when I'm not there.
So you enjoy me being here?
Oh, I love it.
I don't see our friends from Jay's Marketplace. I do not see Jay's Marketplace here today. I definitely don't see that vendor. He has been fired, and I generally don't really support people getting fired for things for like outrage or anything like that. But holding up a picture of a gun at a woman and talking about her panties, that is grounds for some firing right there. Okay, I just wanted to make a statement by walking down here with all of you guys. Spend some money. Unless they're looking at you sideways and like they don't want to talk to you because you're a hat. So yes, thank you guys again for coming out. I'm just going to be out talking to people. I'm going to mingle for a few hours. So feel free to stick around and do whatever you want. Thank you again for coming. This is really, really cool. It's really awesome. Yes, please do.
For a big picture.
Yeah, we'll just take a big picture all together and then we'll do individual ones.
Say Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
And that's that dude right there with that camera was with Adam when MCF walked up on him. So that's enough of that one. We'll go ahead and drop that. Remove. Go Texans. Yeah, I was reading about Lenny Dawson, who won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. And Lenny was a backup quarterback for years, from say 56 to 61. And then they started the AFL. And Lenny was the quarterback for the Texans, the Dallas Texans. Hank Stram was their coach before they moved the Dallas Texans to Kansas City and they became the Chiefs. But he was a Texan, Casey Jones, but it was the Dallas Texans originally, before they had Cowboys. So I don't know the history on the Cowboys. I assume they started a couple of years after that. People missed their team after they were moved, and I suppose they got some support and then started the Cowboys thereafter. I'm not a great, you'd have to ask one of the Cowboy people, for more specifics on that. Yeah. So let's move on. 44 people still hanging out with us. We've been here for about 83 minutes. And let me think about this. We'll stick with Caitlin one more time. We'll do the pride thing and see what we think about that. Bear with me while I do a little searching. And let's see, I've got it dropped. Okay, bear with me while I do a little searching. And did I see Mike out of the corner of my eyes? If so, welcome, sir. Good to see you. And by the way, this second video has over 500,000 views, 505,000 views. I didn't pay attention to the first one. Liberty Hangout has 879,000 subscribers. Pretty substantial. Adam Francisco, has about 184,000 subscribers. The video was viewed by just as many people. Actually, the video that Adam had that I saw, I'm not sure which one it was, but I remember. Oh, Gosh, I can't remember which one it was, but he had more views than he had subscribers. He had like 184,000 views and 155,000 subscribers. That's Adam Francisco that I'm referring to. Let's go back to Julie's channel and see if I can't find the Pride one, which I just watched for the first time last night, and it's from about a week ago or so. And then we'll ease up on Caitlin and move into a couple of other things. Let's see what we got for videos. There we go. And cops banned me from Youth Pride event. This is a 16-minute video. Let's get her going. Okay, bear with me while I get her up on stage again. Mike. Oh, yeah, I had cataract surgery. Not too serious, and it seems to be clear. Even with this plastic thing over it protecting me, I've got to wear it for a week. I can read the chats like perfectly. Suddenly, I've got 20/20 vision in my left eye, and I've been half blind in that eye for all of my life. Pretty much 20/100. When they gave me that number when I was a kid. They said 20/70 in the right eye and 20/100 in the other eye. And I said to the lady, it was in grade school, mind you, I said, "Well, what's blind?" And she said, "When you can't see." Yeah, thanks. I was looking for a number, and I was like, "No, I mean number wise." And then she said, "Maybe about 2,200." So that's why I say I'm half blind. Blah 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 blah. And still won't be able to see off in the distance very well without glasses. But they said I won't need them to read again. And so all this leaning forward to read the chat, you people won't see me leaning forward as much, hopefully, because it appears that I can see Jesus. Mike says, "Sweet." I'll keep it short and sweet. Yeah, it's working. And like I said, even with the plastic, I can still. It's just perfect, unbelievable. I'm very pleased. So rock on. Trump hat was the one that MCF yelled. That's right, Casey. That's right. That's Adam Francisco. And I've been following him for a little while, and I noticed it when MCF yelled at him. I'm like, holy crap! He just yelled at Adam, and I made MCF aware of it when he came over on my panel the other morning, Sunday morning. I discussed that very thing that had happened. Casey Jones, Adam also fist bumped Mosh at a different rally the same day that Saturday. And Mosh posted that clip. And I went over to Adam's channel and verified it. I looked at the timestamp, and we'll show that here in a bit. Both interactions with Adam. Wouldn't that be something to have all three of it? I'd love to get Adam up on a panel with MCF. People have said he'd destroy him. And I ain't out to destroy MCF, but it would be interesting to see him debate someone that knows a little bit more about immigration than MCF does. Maybe that's just my opinion. Adrian Payne in the house. Thank you, sir, for being here. Glad to have you. Jewish too. I didn't know about that, but wow. Excuse me. Okay, back to the show. And this is at the Youth Pride event, and it's in St. Petersburg. And she posted this 7 days ago, so I assume it was pretty recently that this occurred. She got 4,000 comments on this one and 285,000 views. It's 16 minutes, so I'll try to skip through it. I don't want to violate anybody's copyrights or anything like that. For entertainment purposes only. In fact, let me get that banner up here in case any of you kind folks would like to help support the channel. You may do so with this information. And boom, for entertainment purposes only. Boom. Okay, back to the comments and back to the video. Did you happen to notice that he said that the black gentleman said that she threatened participants there, and that's a bald-faced lie. It offends me when people lie to get what they want and use the police to do their bidding. Totally offends me, and it should offend each and every one of you as well. So here we go. Oh shit! I've been playing all that and you couldn't see it. My bad. What an idiot! Damn it! You people didn't see 3 minutes worth. I'm so stupid. Sorry. Bear with me. I admit. Golly Moses! I had it backstage. You probably couldn't hear it. Let's try this again. I'm such a buffoon. Beep, beep, beep. Must be the medicine. Here we go. Let's try it again.
Hi, I told I wasn't allowed in.
Yeah, the organizer of the event, they don't want you guys in here.
Why not?
I don't know. They didn't tell me.
How do you know who I am?
They identified you. You guys can't come in.
Who do they think I am?
I'm not sure. You guys can't come in, okay?
What happens if we do?
Have a good day.
What happens if we come in?
We trespass.
Why am I not allowed in here?
I have no idea.
Okay. And what would happen if I came in anyway?
It's open to the public, but if the event has a park permit, so they can ask people to leave there.
So if it's open to the public, I'm still allowed to be in there.
Organizers say they don't want someone in the park because they have a park permit.
And if I don't leave, would you guys arrest me?
You would be trespassed from the park.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are threatened participants in here, so it's to them.
We're on a public sidewalk. We're on a sidewalk. You're gonna arrest me for being on a sidewalk? What?
Talk to
Are you
them.
filming? Who?
Yeah.
Talk to who?
Call my office. Like your videos.
Thank you. They told me I'm not allowed in.
Not allowed in.
I'm sorry, why?
You're not allowed in.
Why?
I'm gonna get the manager up here right now.
Okay, good. Yeah, get the manager for sure. Yeah. So am I like Is this a public?
Nothing about me.
It's not a public event.
I don't know. I don't need to be filmed, buddy.
Oh, well, you're in public. Yeah.
Not allowed.
I'm sorry.
Keep going. It's not allowed. Stop. Stop.
We're waiting for the manager.
Okay, in the area, waiting over there. Thank you.
Okay.
We have more
all right.
people waiting.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm
With some
waiting too.
respect. Thank you.
I'll wait right here. Don't touch me though.
I'm not touching you.
Don't touch me though.
Can you move to the center? Thank you.
I'm waiting for the manager.
You can go in the
No,
side.
don't touch me. I'm good. I'm done engaging with you.
Okay, can you go back over there, please?
That's
And
my
do your
job. I know my job. Thank you.
Here comes the manager. Hi, I told I wasn't allowed in.
Yeah, the organizer of the event, they don't want you guys in here.
Why not?
I don't know. They didn't tell me.
How do you know who I am?
They identified you. You guys can't come in.
Who do they think I am?
I'm not sure. You guys can't come in, okay?
What happens if we do?
Have a good day.
What happens if we come in?
Trespass.
Trespass from public property. You know we just went through
It's
this.
reserved private property right
We
now.
just went through this. You cannot do that. Should we go in? Should we go in? Should we go in?
Yeah, you guys gotta wait outside on the sidewalk. This is private property right here. You gotta wait on the sidewalk.
Yeah. So
No,
you are gonna have me arrested if I come into
no,
the.
no,
I thought this was all about love and equality and
Yeah.
inclusiveness, right? Is this all
Thanks
about
for stopping
love and
by.
equality?
Yo.
I thought these events were all about love and equality and inclusiveness.
420.
And no hate. Hate is not welcome here. And who's the organizer of this? Who's the organizer of this?
Yeah, they gotta go. Yeah.
Wow.
Are you getting her over here talking to the cops?
Where?
Over here talking to the cops over there? Go this way then. She's talking to the cops over there. Would, so do you just work for the event or you are part of the
I don't
organizer?
have anything to say. So you did deal with law enforcement at this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's talk to the law enforcement.
Somewhere around here.
Am I talking to an officer? Can I talk to you?
Get on that side. This is their property right now.
Right.
All right, so if you want to
So,
talk to the supervisor, step over
no,
here.
I want to talk to you.
You don't need to talk to
Is
me.
this event open to the public?
We'll talk to
Is this event open to the public? Yes or no? Sir? Any officer, he said, you don't need to talk to me. You're an officer and I'm requesting to
Get
talk
up,
to
get
you.
up.
So if you remember, they did this at Lakeland. They tried to remove me from a public space. If this is open to the public, I am allowed to be here. So we're going through this again and the cops are trying to look, they're just watching me. Could I talk to you? Are the cops allowed to like refuse to speak with me? Like, what if I have a concern? They're just not going to approach me and talk to me? That's interesting. I feel like I should test the waters. Like, is he gonna arrest me if I just step into the grass? Like the cops in Lakeland said they were gonna arrest me for going into the street. I'm gonna go over here to these cops.
Come closer. We don't bite.
Excuse me, I need an officer. I need an officer. Will you grab one? Will you grab one for me? It's about the event. Oh, so a woman is asking for an officer and you're not gonna help me?
I will get you an officer, but I need them to follow something really good.
Okay, thank you. Hi, sir.
Anywhere out on the sidewalk.
I know that.
Block the entrances.
I know that. So why he's taking look, the event staff's taking pictures of me. Why am I not allowed in here?
I have no idea.
And what would happen if I came in anyway?
It's open to the public, but if the event has a park permit, so they can ask people to leave there.
So if it's open to the public, I'm still allowed to be in there because I am part of the public.
Until the event organizers say they don't want someone in the park because they have a park permit.
And if I don't leave, would you guys arrest me?
You would be trespassed from the park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like officially or just a warning?
Well, if we tell you they don't want you here and you leave, we won't do an official trespass. If you refuse to leave, we'll fill out an official trespass.
And you would arrest me?
What's that?
Would you arrest me if I refuse to leave?
Leave when you're being told to leave, but why would you do that? You would just leave.
I'm just wondering where my rights are allowed. We went through this in Lakeland, and actually it came to find out that you couldn't prohibit people from coming into a public place open to the public.
That's what I just
You
told
couldn't prevent that.
But they have a park permit for the park.
Permitted the park. It's a private event.
So it's a
permitted park.
I mean, we can have our attorney reach out to you. He's going to reiterate the same thing, that you cannot restrict First Amendment on private property, even if it's permitted. So if you'd like to hear from our attorney, we'd be more than happy for them to reach out.
You come in because it's open to the public, but They have a park permit, so if you are inside the park and they don't want you as part of their event, they can ask you.
No, they can't. No, they can't. The Lakeland Police Department had to have a whole thing about training their officers in this, guys. You might be next.
Okay.
You guys might be next. So again, I guess we'll have to go through this again. I think it's really disgusting, though, that at first the officers wanted to not even look at me, not even talk to me. I wonder if they're scared. Some people who have criticized this event say that kids should not be exposed to this at such a young age.
I mean, I don't know what your sexuality is, if you will, but families come in.
We're on a public sidewalk. We're on a sidewalk. You're gonna arrest me for being on a sidewalk? I'm on the sidewalk. Is this part of the permitted event? No, it's not. I have to school this cop right now. I can be on the sidewalk. We both know that. So we all know, just like that person said, LGBTQ plus, especially kids, are experiencing erasure from society, and it's just getting looked down upon, and their rights are under attack. Yet they won't let me into a public event. This is open to the public. It is not a ticketed event. It's not a private event. All they're doing is renting this space to hold their propaganda. That's all that they're doing. I am allowed a man in high heels, a short dress, more dressed than they usually are. It's illegal for this to happen in public spaces in Florida. There's obscenity laws, and there's a law to protect children from events like this. Actually, in Naples, their drag queen show was forced to be put inside so that children wouldn't be exposed to it. The cops are more worried about keeping me out of this public space than they are about the illegal activity going on over there in front of that stage with the children. So that's interesting. But we are in St. Pete's. If you know a little thing about St. Pete's. So yeah, anyway, interesting. This might be like a Lakeland 2.0 happening right here. So we'll keep you updated, and might have to contact my lawyer again.
What's up? Oh my God.
They won't let me inside.
They won't let you in?
No.
That's messed up.
And the cops said they would officially trespass me from this park if
I could say you're with me, because I'm hired here to do balloons.
Yes, do it. Do it.
I'll say we're both with my event company.
Yes.
Okay.
What's your event?
What's up?
What's your company?
It's YT Events. Contact us.
Let me know what happens. Okay, let's do it. Should I give her the microphone?
What? This is so funny.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna stay right here. Come over, Kira. Come over. Yeah, right here. Say we need an event organizer. Hey. So what's your name?
I'm prominent. My name's Shelby.
Shelby, you're gonna go up to that woman right there with the glasses on her head and tell her that I am with you. Can you take the microphone?
Okay.
Okay, but you'll turn it, right? You'll come back. You'll come back.
Oh,
to me?
yeah.
Okay, all right. She's gonna take the microphone.
This is
going up to her.
Demilo.
Good. Oh no, I'm hired through YT. I was doing balloons today.
All right, for those who are interested in we are going to be lining up by the pavilion on the north side.
What's up?
The organizers have asked you to leave.
I know, right?
Oh no, I was here like earlier doing balloons with YT.
Yeah, not with this stuff.
No, it's
Oh, okay. Well, these are my friends who wanted to come in with me.
Nope.
Spoiler alert, the microphone's not allowed in.
They've asked you to leave.
Okay.
They're harassing people all morning.
Oh, I thought they were trying to do interviews.
No.
Who are they harassing? Is this man lying again?
They threatened participants in here, so it's to them.
No.
Who did they threaten? Again, he's lying. And he's going to use the police to do his bidding. He's a damn liar. And I believe he was identified earlier as a professor.
Oh man, I was gonna have her come in with me and do her.
best dressed canine in our pet parade.
Are we allowed to go in?
Not with the microphone.
Are you allowed to go in without the microphone?
I think.
All right. I don't want to ruin your job, so go ahead. If you got to terminate my employment, I understand.
Well, I'm already done for the day. I was just gonna go grab my lemonade that I left, but I love your content.
Thank
so
you.
much. I
Thank
support
you.
it.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh! Like I
in without my microphone.
Can we come in without the microphone?
Yeah, what if I put the microphone away? Well, you can go in. I'll let you go in. That's fine. Shelby, it was so nice to meet you. I'll get my paycheck some other
I
time.
was trying to use
I
that.
know. Thank you for doing that. That's hilarious. Why are they discriminating against inanimate objects? Their banned books are all about doing stuff with inanimate objects and weird stuff. So that's interesting. I wonder if that's the event organizer, the black man. So I found this about trespass laws and permitted events in St. Petersburg. It says that they can trespass individuals from permitted events on public property, but it must have a valid, articulable reason that falls within the bounds of Florida trespass law and respects individuals' constitutional rights to due process and free speech. They can't simply remove someone because they don't like them or their presence. The grounds for trespass typically involve violations of the law, event rules, or behavior that significantly disrupts the event or threatens public safety. So the cops are, I guess, accusing me of breaking the law, threatening public safety, or doing something that is illegal, of why they're going to prevent me from being inside this public event. I've done none of that. So is it my microphone? Could I go in without my microphone? Why? I thought this was about love. Don't touch me.
Okay, then don't put that.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Just walk away from me. Why are you standing so?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Technically, she can't touch her just because she held up the microphone. You know, you might not like it. Don't touch me.
And so close anyway. Don't touch me again.
My job.
What's your job?
My job.
Don't touch anything, please.
Okay, then don't put it in my face.
It's not, the microphone isn't allowed to go into the space.
I just don't want it in my face.
Just walk away from me then.
This is my job. You're interfering.
Are you
with my job.
protecting the Pride Parade from Caitlin Bennett right now? Yeah. Yeah. You're protecting these children from Caitlin Bennett. You should be protecting these children from these ideologies being spewed in their faces. There's women walking around with just bandages on their nipples and their breasts, pretending that they're men, and that's allowed. Look at that. We interviewed them. They're allowed to do that, but Caitlin Bennett isn't allowed into a youth pride event. But people, men in high heels and short dresses are allowed in. I'm paying peekaboo with the security staff. Hi, guys. Can I come in yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. When? When can I come in the park, the public park, open to the public? Are you guys done breaking the First Amendment yet or no? Don't say anything if your answer is no. Even though we couldn't get inside, we do have a lot of footage exposing what's going on inside and what these people want to expose children to. Hit that notification bell, subscribe so you can get all of the content from this trip. This is some stuff you really want to see and share to your...
He's got his pronouns right there.
Oh, he has his pronouns. Good Lord, we are really out of this world today.
Yeah.
What do these words talk about?
Sex,
Okay. What kind of sex?
oral, anal, vaginal,
Okay. And you would be, what age would you be comfortable with her having access to this information?
any age.
Speaking of Pride, my merch store, lhmerch.com, has the most amazing Pride selection.
Okie dokie. And that pretty much covers our show in whatever city that was. Damn. Show the real woman. Oh, hell. Sorry, all you get is me. Where are my panelists? You know, I guess everybody's afraid to come up this morning. 50 people in the house. 50. You know, wow. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Whether you're chat or a panel or just lurk, we're glad you're here. We appreciate it. Any age, right, Jenna? That was a pretty stupid answer. I thought he was going to give a better answer than that. And no, he didn't. Wow. What can I say? Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but everybody's entitled to laugh at the opinions of others that say stupid shit like that. I mean, there you go. All right, well, let's see. Let's move on to MCF. I think it's about time for that. Liberty Hangout. I'm subbing. There you go. Liberty Hangout. It'd be easy to find. She's pushing almost 1 million subscribers, and I can see why. She pushes the boundaries. Like I said, my friend said that she is antagonistic. Maybe that's the word it was, and I can see that, to a degree. But you have to kind of push the boundaries if you want to get your message out. And she's got a really good message, which shouldn't infringe on people's First Amendment rights to free speech. She shouldn't block the entrance, though. She can stay on the sidewalk, but not block the entrance. There's all kinds of intricacies here. The one place tried to move her out of the street and onto the sidewalk. Then even that wasn't good enough. And we had some smart alecky people said, go stand in the middle of the street and do your interviews. And then proceeded to show a picture of a gun. Some really lovely characters in this country of ours. It takes all kinds. And everyone has a right to express themselves to a point. And I believe that point was that man lost his boot for showing that gun. Talking about the girl's panties wasn't very swift either. Wow. Never mind. Let's not get into the panty talk. But we'll move on. Next up, after an hour and 50 minutes of fun, so far, I hope you are having fun. Thank you all for being here. We'll move on to MCF. After Dark. Move the ashtray here and see if I can move along a little faster. Yeah, I wish I had everything queued up like a professional, but you'll just have to bear with me while I go through my steps painstakingly. This is strictly for amusement, not to make fun of anybody or to hurt anybody. I just want people to see, the truth, if you will. Okay. Interesting stuff, and some of it's plain funny, okay? I mean, we can all kid each other. A lot of us really are friends. And in spite of, we may have disagreements about this, that, or the other, we can still be friends for the most part, I believe. So let's go back to bear with me while I get her queued up. I'm going to get this to the Okay, we're going to bring her up and fast forward her a little bit. Hey, way up, dude. No granny panties, please. And we'll add this to the stage. And he gave me permission the other day. He knows I'm just funning around with him. This is where we'll first see the lady in blue. Keep her picture in mind. And it's going to be about less than a minute or so. We'll have something exciting happen here. Bear with me. And we should be able to hear it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Love to see it, Florida.
Yeah. Oh, be careful. Oh, oh, you okay? Oh, shoot.
Oops.
That was a.
Now, I accused MCF of stepping on this lady's heel. He says she tripped over a crack or something, and I'm teasing him, but it looked really close. Check me on this.
Love to see it, Florida.
Yeah. Oh, be careful.
Now, granted, there are some cracks, but she tripped before the cracks. So I still think it's possible that he stepped on her heel, poor thing. So let's roll on.
Oh, you okay? Oh, shoot. That was a.
And notice the lady helps her up, not the man. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Jeez, we can't pick up. Here. We'll get you. You can, if you can move, we can get you up a little bit.
Will.
I got you. You okay? Just be careful because they're all over you. The minutes are on you.
I think we got most of them off.
As long as if you need to sit down, try to make go off to the side of this area here.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I couldn't help it. That's just for fun. Totally kicked her heels. He pushed her. She didn't vote for Trump. The next minute, she's missing her gold teeth. You people, I love you. Stole her wallet. Flat tire, Charbatti. Yeah, I had to ask. I think it was Chill Pill that said what that was the word I was looking for. I was like, what's that word when somebody steps on your heel? And I believe it was Chill Pill when I showed that the other night on my Sunday morning stream. That was a good stream, 8 hours, 759 views. It was an all you people, a great panel, including MCF too, because we were just teasing with him about this stuff that happened here. That was the first kind of thing that caught my eye. That's like 2.5 minutes into his hour and 7-minute video from Saturday, the No Kings protest. But let's give you a little bit more of it. I'll skip ahead to the next exciting event. And this is where we're going to meet Adam Francisco. See if I can find that spot. I've got it memorized just about. Let's see. Oops, that's already happened. Yeah, let's get to about right. Oh, hell yeah. 15 seconds till the circumstance occurs.
That's what's going to get crazy about. It's peaceful protest. Do the day. You dumb motherfuckers that think differently. Remember that. You're wrong again. We win again.
He thinks he was a slave.
Here we go.
Trump.
That's Adam Francisco, who you saw at Kate Lynn's rally. Adam, for those, some of you are subbed up to him, known him for years, a few be said. Adam wears his MAGA hat to rallies and protests, and he is the adversary. He is the one Trump guy amongst hundreds of opposition people, and that's Adam. He just yelled "fuck Trump" in his ear. Let's hear some more.
You were in Caitlin Bennett's video.
Hey, fuck Trump, what?
Weren't you Caitlin Bennett's video? I think you were on YouTube.
Weren't you supposed to be deported? Oh, yeah. Deport him, he's illegal. That one with the red hat. Yeah, he's a fucking traitor.
And there was one other interesting part, but there's his interaction. Never met Adam before in his life. MCF didn't even know who he was. And he's a pretty well-known YouTuber, as some of y'all have expressed. And that's his interaction with the one or two MAGA people. The guy standing next to him was also in that other video with Kate Lynn, the tall guy that had the camera there at the end of that particular rally where they took their group picture. And here we go. Are we going to, let's see, got a smiley face like Casey Jones. The camera hasn't come through, and it is not Casey Jones. It is the lovely and talented Banshu.
Yay!
Outback Windows, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming up and joining me. I've been up here for almost 2 hours, couple minutes.
2 hours. I know, and I had a quick fast forward. And I'm thinking, you got freaking nearly 50 people watching, and no one's hopped up on panel with you.
Yeah, but we're having a good time. I'm just kind of recapping some different political activities from the last couple of weeks. We showed some video footage of a young lady they tried to kick her out of a farmer's market. They tried to kick her out of a Pride festival. Well, they succeeded at the Pride festival because even though it was open to the public, it was a permitted event being held on Edward. I don't know you, but